With Nigeria's 56th independence, not a few people believe the judiciary has not played a key role in the fight against corruption. The third arm tasked with ensuring that government adheres strictly to the rule of law has been faced with many controversies these past 56 years. Lawyer Kennedy Osunwa is here with us to give a review of the judiciary in its 56 years of independence. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, good evening.
Now, 56 years, how has the judiciary fared, especially at ensuring that we have a vibrant democracy?
Well, I must say, so far, the judiciary has done well for itself, if I must state and say it so, because the judiciary has a lot to ensure that the rule of law and justice system, is being carried out. But having said that, when you look at the type of cases that has to be looked at in our various courts and the burden that is on the judiciary itself to deliver justice as at when due, you will agree with me that the judiciary has done well. Having said that, I know that the judiciary still have more to do, and the judiciary is not sleeping, but will also do what it needs to do to ensure that the rights of the citizenry is being protected.
The burden of so many cases unresolved, especially of high-profile public office holders, some former, some current, on the judiciary, which is a pointer to the controversies talked about earlier on in that trail by my colleague. In spite of that, you believe that the judiciary has done well?
Well, you see, let me tell you, when it comes to, particularly from what you have said concerning the governors, the ex-governors, you must be talking about corruption cases. And when it comes to corruption cases, there are a lot of factors that comes into play. One of the factors that comes into play is the body that arrests, the body that investigates, and the body that prosecutes. Well, when the matter comes to court, it is not only the court that has duty to ensure that justice of that matter is dispensed. Now the prosecution has a lot to do, because it is the prosecution that will prosecute before the court would rule in it or deliver judgment. So whatever that matters or whatever that comes to play, the prosecution or the agent that is prosecuting, whether the EFCC, whether the police, or whether any form of law enforcement agents that is prosecuting the case, has a lot to play. For instance, where you prefer a charge, and at the end of the day, when the matter is about to go to trial or have gone to trial, you want to amend the charge, definitely it will slow the arm. But
the judiciary in other countries is faced with similar challenges, yet trials of corruption are done expeditiously. For instance, the case of a former governor in this country, which was tried and successfully prosecuted and was sentenced in the West, in the UK to be precise. So what excuse does the Nigerian judiciary have?
Now, you see, you cannot, that is what I'm saying, you cannot use the UK jurisprudence, legal jurisprudence, to Nigerian legal jurisprudence. Because, for instance, in the UK, before an accused person is arrested, investigation about that suspect has already been completed, which is contrary to what obtains here. Though, for instance, the EFCC is trying to, follow that suit now. But when you look at that, you find out that here they will arrest, make noise, and at the end of the day, that will hamper the issue of evidence that has to be laid. So it is a different kettle of fish. You cannot juxtapose that of the United Kingdom to Nigeria, because the prosecution is, for instance, the issue of evidence. They also have their scientific evidence there is high. The level of it is higher than what we have in Nigeria. So we will get there, and we are getting there. But of course, it's not the same.
All right, it is not the same. But like you said, I'll take you back to your statement you made. You said the judiciary has a lot to do and is not sleeping. I guess that is the reason why a lot of people are calling for reforms in the judiciary, because it seems a lot have lost the confidence in the judiciary, stemming from a lot of things like my colleague mentioned and other controversies that have stirred up over the years. Now, how do we begin to reform the judiciary? Where do we start from if we are calling for reforms in the judiciary? Well,
if we are calling for reforms in the judiciary, we have to look at, because what brings about the reform is to ensure this a speedy dispensation of justice or disposal of the cases before the court. Now, take for instance the issues of e-filing. This is a situation where cases are being filed, electronically, assigned electronically, and then it gives the judge the ample opportunity to see what is coming before the Honorable Justice. Now, for instance, the governor of Lagos or Lagos State is doing a lot in this direction. If you look at the justice system in Lagos, you will see that Lagos has gone far beyond other states. Why did I say so? For instance, in the Lagos judiciary, you see there is a registry called a fast-track registry. This fast-track registry disposes any case that comes before it within 9 months. Yes, within 9 months. But how do you achieve that? Because commercial cases, what the judiciary in Lagos State have done is to assemble cases like the commercial cases, revenue cases, and that is of certain amount, and put it under fast track. On that fast track, once it goes to trial, every day there will be trial on that matter. There's e-filing. Like I said before, it will give the judge an ample opportunity to ensure that the matter gets to the judge through electronic means. The judge will look at it. It has been assigned electronically. The judge will look at it and get him or herself acquainted of the facts even before the physical file is assigned to that court. So when you have such system in other jurisdiction, you find out that if Lagos is working this way, within a space of 9 months, a case is disposed of. I don't think that people will complain that judiciary is not working. I think that if also the criminal aspect of it, for instance, I personally, I have always advocated for the government to establish corruption courts. That is courts that will handle corruption cases, criminal courts entirely. You don't handle, the court don't handle any other case apart from criminal court. And then the judges again, you must look at their welfare. The same way the government look at the welfare of the National Assembly, the welfare of the judges must be paramount, and the court must be well funded. So in not doing this, you will find out that the dispensation of justice will be as easy and as quick as possible.
Seamless. Barrister Kennedy Osunwa, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.